Welcome to the Amazing Authorities Podcast, where game changers, visionaries, and category leaders share how they built their brands, platforms, and global influence. Your host is Mitch Carson, international speaker, media strategist, and creator of the Instant Authority System. If you're ready to learn from those who've done it and want to become the go-to expert in your space, you're in the right place.
Today's guest, Tun Kim from Singapore, is going to wow you on multiple levels. Number one, she is a super smart person. She's kind, and she's written about her passion helping people. She's got a corporate, high-level corporate, C-level executive position with a major corporation. She'll share that or not during her time with you today. But she has got a fantastic presentation ready for you. Welcome, Tun Kim, to the program today.
Thank you very much, Mitch. I'm so delighted to be with you today and certainly to talk about the book that I've written on the art of personal and people mastery.
Well, that's a biggie right there, personal and people mastery. Now, I could go at many levels. Is it mastering yourself, or is it mastering how to engage with other people? Just to create a little context.
Right. It is actually about mastering myself or yourself.
Okay.
And at the same time, once you're able to master yourself, how do you also master your interactions with people? And that's the reason why I talk about personal and people mastery.
Okay. Well, the floor is yours, Mrs. Kim.
All right. All right. Okay. So hi, everybody. As Mitch introduced, my name is Tun Kim, and I truly have a passion in terms of learning more and more skills. And over the past 20 or 30 years, I have learned from many mentors, read many books, attended many seminars on how I can master myself, and also how do I interact with people. So today in my book, I will talk about how do you unlock your full potential to achieve breakthrough with these two very important skills. And to me, people and personal skills are the two pillars of your success. Because if you are able to master yourself, only then you can inspire others. So let's get going. So in our journey to personal and people mastering, I really like this picture. If you could see it, it gives you that warmth. The sunrise always signifies growth. It always signifies potential. And so for any one of us, I truly believe that every one of you has the resources within yourself to be successful. And the only thing is that, are you able to unlock that potential in yourself? So let's go through that journey in terms of how you can master yourself. And only when you master yourself, you can inspire others. The first thing first is that, hey, you can't be what you cannot see. So clarity is the starting point for your success. Only when you are able to see clearly on what you want, then you are able to pursue in terms of how you want to achieve your goal. And to me, I have 3 simple steps in terms of how you can achieve clarity. The first point is to pause and reflect. Now, in today's world, we are always so busy, rushing from one place to another, being stuck on our social media, and so we are just too busy. So one area to achieve clarity is to pause and reflect. The second point is, how about journaling? I found that journaling is a very powerful tool that you can use, because by journaling, you are able to think back on what you have achieved and what you have done. And then looking back and saying that, hey, this is what I can do better. And the last area to achieve clarity is to seek guidance. Never be too shy to ask, to look for people who can help you and guide you. So seeking for guidance is one way, is where you can achieve clarity. In my book, I emphasize a lot about the power of I am. The words that follow I am follows you. Do you know that every single day you talk to yourself 60,000 times?
Oh, wow.
60,000 times, Mitch. So if
I
you
thought it was 61, but man, wow,
oh, no,
that's amazing.
60,000 times. Amazing, right? Imagine if you talk to yourself 60,000 times and you said, I am confused, I am no good at this, I am just lousy, I am incapable. What are you telling yourself? You're programming yourself to tell that, hey, you are that person. But if you tell yourself that I am confident, I am capable, I am worthy of all of these good things that is happening to me, just imagine the power that you have created in your own mind and that whole reframing of your thoughts. So do
Is
take,
there another word for this, Tun Kim, called self-talk? Is that the popular word is our self-talk?
yes, very much, Mitch. A lot of us talk about self-talk, right? How do you talk to yourself? Or some people even call it the inner voice.
Yes, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
The inner voice. So imagine the inner voice keeps running and running the record to say that I am confused, I am incapable. Whether you like it or not, this is going to get programmed in your mind. So absolutely, Mitch, self-talk, inner voice, whatever you call that.
I
So
love this command, the power of I am capable. Perfect. 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 Love it. Love it, Tun Kim.
very good, very good. So let's move on. Wow, look at this.
Oh my gosh, snake charmer.
That's me, Mish. That's me in this photo. And it was like 2018.
Okay.
2018.
And you're still alive.
Yes, I am still alive. And I'm so glad that I took the courage to hold the python and in my hands. And you know what? I was so scared when someone asked me, Tun Kim, would you want to hold the python? My immediate action was, nope, 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 I'm not going to do it. Why? What if? What if the python turn around and bite me? What if the python coil around my neck? No, there were so many what ifs in our mind. And this is exactly what happens. In fact, I learned that fear is actually our guardian angel. Believe it or not, fear
Yes.
is our guardian angel. Why? Because it is constantly protecting us from danger. It is constantly protecting us from things that are unknown. However, fear also stops us from thinking big. Fear also stops us from achieving more. Fear stops us from doing a lot of things that actually you are capable to do. So the question to ask is that how do we tame the cobra of fear in us? Remember that fear only exists in your mind. It is just imaginary. It has never happened. It is just something that we have in our mind and we keep asking ourselves, what if? Now, the word fear, Mitch, you probably has heard of some acronyms, right? In fact, there are so many acronyms to the word fear. It has this word to say that face everything and rise.
Rise.
This
Yes.
is the acronym that I love the best. Fear,
That's the one I use. Yes.
face everything and rise, right? Rather than what you call that? Some of them says that flight, as in you flee away from fear. So that's not the acronyms that I would want to to adopt.
Yes, that's better. Faced everything in rise or false evidence appearing real. I've heard
Yes.
that. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of them, but I like the one that we share and embrace, which is face everything and rise. Let's go with a positive slope there.
Exactly. So I love this picture, and whenever I'm fearful, I always use this picture and tell myself, "Hey, Tun Kim, you have already coiled a a python around you. So what else are you fearful of?" And I remembered, Mitch, you had a photo as well with the tiger.
Yes.
I'm not sure whether I'm as brave as you yet, but certainly I think that was also a very good picture. Yourself,
Well, what I was told was it doesn't eat Americans, but it will eat Singaporeans. So I recommend you don't go there.
don't go there? Okay, got it. Right. Now, we talk about our goals. And we said that this is the goal that we want to achieve, and this is what we want to see ourselves achieving, right? And so I found that the very word that is the bridge between our goals and our results is actually the word discipline. So if you
Mm.
look at this picture, I use this picture to deplete this particular theory is because if you look at the left, this is probably where you are today. And looking at the right, this is where you want to go. And to go from the left to the right, you need to have a bridge that helps you to go across. And as you go across, you look at the water. It is never still. It can be still, but it can be rough. So anything could happen to us in anything that we do. Our goals, our way to achieve our goals could never be plain sailing. In fact, we see that as we go through the different steps and the different actions we take, we learn from the experiences. So remember that discipline, which is that bridge, is your bridge to achievement.
Love it. Love it. Go over the unknown to the known and get there. Good.
Absolutely. And the bridge can be all kinds of bridge. The bridge that I've selected is a more solid one, but of course, in life, there are many different types of bridge, and it is for us to decide whether how strong we want our foundation to be. And that foundation actually lies in your personal and your people mastery. So it all goes back again to that two pillars of mastering yourself and mastering your interactions with people around you.
Okay. Really nice.
Wow. We talk a lot about clarity, the power of I am, how you tame the cobra of fear, and how do you have that discipline, which is the bridge to your accomplishment. But I particularly like this in terms of self-love. Very often, we do not love ourselves as much. We kind of neglect ourselves and says that, oh, okay, I will take care of myself when I'm able to. I was asked this question maybe about 5 years ago. The question was, who is the person that you love the most? Who is the person that you love the most? Now, my immediate answer was my parents, my family, my children, my husband. But then my mentor told me, no, Tun Kim, the person whom you must love the most is yourself. Because if you don't love yourself the most, you will not be well enough to look after the people who are around you. And if you are not well enough to look after them, who are going to look after them? So the person that you must love the most is yourself. I thought to myself, isn't that sounded selfish? Right? But then I thought, no, it is very true. And I remember, Mitch, we were talking about this too, right? About this analogy on
Mhm.
the airplane. Whenever we're in the airplane, what did they announce? They said that when the oxygen mask dropped, who do you put on the oxygen mask first?
Yourself.
Help yourself first before you help the person next to you. Because if you do not put on the mask, you probably could not survive through to help the person next to you. So it is always important to practice self-love. And how do you practice self-love and how do you build that confidence? First, you must accept who you are. Accept who you are. Do not compare yourself to other people all the time. Compare yourself to 2 years ago of you, 10 years ago of yourself, and see how you have progressed and how you have improved. So do not compare yourself with others. Accept yourself for who you are. And secondly, when someone gives you a compliment, accept it. Accept that compliment and not to be shy and say, no, I'm not like that. Accept the compliment graciously and give compliments to others as well. And the third way that I learned how I can build my confidence is to truly treat myself well. Give myself a break, go for a spa, go for a facial when I need it, really, really treat yourself well, eat well, go and exercise. So this to me is truly important.
Or a foot massage.
Yes, go for a massage, Mitch.
Yes, that's self-care. That's my idea of self-care for
Right.
sure.
Give yourself that time to love yourself. So everyone on the call, remember, I advocate self-love and I want you to advocate self-love too.
Great.
We talk a lot about the self. Now, what I like to emphasize on is this is a modern world, right? You just look at all the diagrams in there. I use the social media, the connections, how we can connect with one another. And I want you to know that connection is your superpower. It is no longer a luxury. Today, in today's environment, building connection authentically multiplies your influence. So do not take connection just as a luxury. Do not think that connection is only meant for extroverts. It is meant for everybody, you and me. So take connection seriously. And when I say connection, networking is not about just going for activities, drinking, socializing, etc., but meeting people and creating that meaningful connection with the people. It doesn't have to be many. Every single person that you connect with, but you connect it meaningfully. One other thing is that how can you be a better connector? You need to learn how to listen. We do not know how to listen. We hear, but we do not listen. And we sometimes only listen with our ears. I learned how to listen with our eyes by watching the body language, by watching the expression. Listen with your ears. You can hear the tone. You can hear the pace as they speak. Were they excited? Were they sad? And you listen with your heart. Listen.
Bingo.
Heart, right? Listen with your heart. How do you listen to the person? Listen, empathize, and put yourself in the shoes of that person. So, and when you communicate with openness and with sincerity. It's not about, hi, Mitch, how are you? Okay, then you fly to another person. Hello, Jane, how are you doing? That is pretty superficial. So whenever you go for networking, do connect authentically and do connect with sincerity. So remember, connection is no longer a luxury. It is truly your superpower.
Love it.
Not particularly like this, Mitch. Amplify your voice, amplify your career. Now, I particularly like this because when I look at my younger self, right, Tun Kim in 25 years ago, I was like, I dare not speak up. No, when I was in a meeting, I said, I actually have a point of view. I have a suggestion, but I thought, probably someone has a better suggestion than me, so I don't want to speak. And I also have this thought in me to say that, what if they think that my suggestion was so naive? And what if I ask a very stupid question? Or what would they think of me? So I had these thoughts, a lot of these questions in my mind. So I actually missed a lot of opportunities because I was so quiet in those meetings. I did not dare to put my point of views across. I did not dare to ask questions because I was so afraid of what people think of me. But I learned that it is so silly of me to think of that way. So you need to be brave to take your space, take the stage, and make your voice be heard. So amplify your voice, amplify your career, step up, step forward, and be visible. And this is even more important in today's environment where things are remote. You go for meetings, you on a virtual meeting, are you showing your face or are you not showing your face? It is always important to show your face. It is always important to have a face and not be faceless. So amplify your voice so that you can amplify your career or even amplify your business. So Mitch, this is very dear to me, and I really want to make sure that people around me do not get into that same mistake that I made 25 years ago.
Well, here's something I want to insert because this is so valuable. Obviously, this is close to my heart being a speaker myself and speaker trainer. Let's talk about numbers because I know you're a numbers person as well. There is a very clear study and relationship between income and the ability to communicate and speak to a crowd of people. The introverts are safe. They're like turtles that stay in their shell, but the ones that stick their heads out of the shell and plod forward get to the end. They progress. Change your thoughts, move, and then there's an energy that goes out. Movement causes an energetic change, and it's so true. I was more introverted than you, I guarantee you, at one time. So quiet, and it took a while to build up that confidence. Like you're very confident today. You're celebrating your heritage of Chinese New Year, wearing red, which means you said austerity, wealth, and
Clarity.
prosperity, all of this. This is an example of you out of your shell. Your head is out of your turtle shell, which was the younger 25 years ago, Tun Kim. Today, you're this confident executive who's willing to wear red, smile on camera, and present to a live group. And that's case in point. How does somebody, I want to ask a question, I'll pretend like somebody is here, and the question would be, how do you build up that confidence to move forward? What do you do specifically?
Okay. I think it's a lot about mindset shift.
Sure.
Yes, it has to start with a mindset shift. And the very first thing is that tell yourself the power of I am. I am capable of putting my points across. I am confident to talk to people. So the power of I am is so important. So remember, just now we speak to ourselves 60,000 times a day. Imagine
Amazing.
that you tell yourself that I am so scared. I am not able to do it. I am not going to be successful in front of a group of people. What will happen? You will not be successful. You will not be confident because you are drumming this message into yourself all the time. So for me, one very powerful tips is the power of I am. The second tip of gaining that confidence, Mitch, is really about modeling people. Success leaves clues, right?
Oh, yes.
Learn from people who are successful. Find out, what exactly do they do? And I really like the point you mentioned about communications. Now, communications, whether you like it or not, is a number one skill that every professional, every leader must excel in. Because if you are not able to communicate what's in your mind, if you're not able to communicate what exactly do you want to put across, you will never be able to get your message across. And how are you going to help people? How are you going to inspire people? So communication is so important, and therefore learn from people who communicates well. Attend speaking mastery class. Speak to people that are able to help you to bring your points across. So I would say these two things, right? The power of I am, and also tell yourself, model successful people.
Bravo. Bravo.
So now that you have learned how to amplify your voice, I'm going to share my next slide with you. It's something that, again, is very dear to me. And a lot of things that we do here, it actually boils down to this particular word. And this word is actually gratitude. Gratitude. The power of gratitude, 10x your success. Is 10x your success. You will notice that people who are successful are always choosing to be grateful. They are grateful for the things that around them. They are grateful for the environment that they are in. They are grateful for the help that someone rendered them. They do not go around whining, complaining, and crying for things that they do not have, but they choose to be grateful. So to me, this feeling of gratitude is such a powerful and strong feeling that we all need to choose to have. So remember that the power of gratitude, 10x your success. So when you have a choice, what do you choose? Choose
Gratitude.
grateful, right? And at this point, Mitch, I like to say that these are all the highlights of my book, The Art of Personal and People Mastery. And to me, if we were able to master just one of these skills, every single day, you will see an improvement in yourself. And if you master yourself, only then you can inspire others. And I want to share that to create that ripple of greatness, be the person to create that ripple of greatness. And I want myself to be able to be that drop that create the ripple of greatness to the people around me. So Mitch, I am so delighted to be able to share my book, The Art of Personal and People Mastery, because I know that I can make a difference to not just myself, but to many, many people around me. I've practiced all of those areas, all of those tips in my book. I know that it works, and I know that it will work for anybody who make it an intention to master themselves, to create that ripple effect.
Well, I believe it's something called implementation. And it starts with your framework that you've laid out. I am capable of, like you say, it's the mindset. Then
Yes.
you've got principles that you've laid out in your book. This is a very scant overview of what's possible. And you've laid out, you've almost teased us with what we need to do, but it's enough. ammunition to load our gun on life and how to shoot straight and be productive, and show us a roadmap, a step-by-step system to live our best lives. And that's what you've laid out in your book, is what do you have to do? Putting the mask on your face first. Save yourself when there's turbulence in life, just like the turbulence in an airplane. Save yourself. Be ready to help other people. You can't help other people if you're not together, if your own house is not in order. And that's what you're sharing. There are all sorts of metaphors out there, but you've laid it out very simply, concisely, in a pleasant way, one that our viewers can implement. But I think the bigger takeaway is invest in the book, invest in your system, because it takes practice. Nobody's an overnight success. Nobody's an overnight great speaker. Some people would say, oh, I'm a natural born speaker, a natural born communicator. I say horseradish. That's not true. That's not true. It takes practice. It took you 25 years of being the best I am Tun Kim, who is blank, to go from where you were, this introverted, shy Asian woman, to now this C-level executive running, loads of employees, who's making a difference. That's what I admire about you, who's willing to wear red and smile and be in prosperity. And that's where people can implement your system, your step-by-step system, to benefit. So how can they best get in touch with you? What would be the next best step for our viewers today, Tun Kim?
Right. So, Mitch, I'm leaving behind. The best way that they can connect is to follow and connect with me on my LinkedIn. They can just pick up their phone and connect with me through this QR code. So I'm on LinkedIn. Connect with me on LinkedIn, where you will be able to read a lot more about my insights, and also how do I live my life, right, in my personal and my professional life. So you get to know more about me. So yes, like you have originally said, now you could see that I'm actually working in IBM, and I'm the general manager of IBM. So I'm an author of the book, The Art of Personal and People Mastery. And at the same time, I am very passionate in terms of mentoring and coaching. So I do a lot of mentoring and coaching, and also have courses that are put together for the people. So yes, so connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to have further conversations with every one of you on the call.
Great. Tun Kim, thank you for your time today. You've dispensed great information, valuable information, came from the heart. You do this out of care, not out of profit. You do this to share with others, to enrich their lives. And everyone who's been through this session today has benefited, including myself. So thank you for your time today, Tun Kim. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much, Mitch.
Oh, by the way, Tun Kim, we've got a couple more slides to share with them. It wasn't so easy for you to get away. Why don't we go to the next slide? Go to the next slide. And here's your book. It's available on Amazon, Personal and People Mastery. A great picture of it. It's right here. This is where you need to go. Buy it today. It's available right now in ebook form and in print form. Is that correct? They can get the physical copy and the printed copy at Amazon.com. I think it's limited versions are on Amazon.sg. But let's go to your next slide, Tun Kim. And here's the snapshot of who you are, what you've done. Ladies and gentlemen, everything you need to know about this Lady Tun Kim is available right here. And there's more coming. So this is for you. You can access her on LinkedIn or tunkim.com on the web, or that looks like Telegram, isn't it?
That's right, Mitch. I have my own Telegram channel, which I do recording of how some of the tips that anyone could listen to. So yeah, join my Telegram channel as well.
Okay, great. Well, thank you again. We forgot these couple little slides, which are important, but this is how you get in touch with Tun Kim, and this is how you then invest in her book. Guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Amazing Authorities Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps more experts like you rise to the top. For behind-the-scenes access and free resources to boost your authority, head to MitchCarson.com. Until next time, stay amazing.